roll in here. Now what I do from a location wise is the second car is just past this first crane. Let's see if I can get it first go. Just like that. Or might be a little bit too far. But what I'll show you what it means is when we hit this crane should load this car. Oh, it's just a little bit too forward, I think. Push it back just a touch. Let's see. No. Alright, just a little bit out. Sorry guys, let's do that quick adjustment. Talking and training at the same time, I'm not very good at both. Let's get a pushback going. Should be right. So what we're looking at is the corner here to here. And what you can do is now we load two adjacent cars together at the same time. You can see that's loading up two at a time. Right, so let's get onto this bridge stuff. What was I talking about? I'll go over where I've got a bit of clearance. So let's go out here. And I'll use this dirt as an example. So when you're building a bridge, you first set out your section. Now here it locks on. We've got that it's made the good angles. So let's say I want to turn towards the thing. I'll set out myself 20 degrees, and I've got a 20-degree spur. You can see there it's underground. So what I want to do is I want to raise it up. Now the whole bridge has just come up that little bit of a degree. So we're still out here, so we'll bring it up, and here's our curve going on. So I'll just go through here, and I'll bring it back the other way, back to 0. So we'll go straight for a bit. Now, I'm too close to this piece of timber, I want to raise it up. So the whole thing is now being raised in one go. It makes it a lot easier, but you can't change the slope mid-bridge. So if we want to go flat now, we do have to complete our bridge. Now if we jump up, here's where we do the same thing. So, but now I'll go down ways. So just line it up. Do your first part. Now what do we want to do? Let's go to the side. We'll go that side, we'll go 25, 30 degrees. And now we're heading over, making a nice curve, 30 degrees the whole way. And now we want it to intersect this railway. Now I don't know how tall this railway is, but do we want to be tall enough for a train to go under? Or do we want to join up with just this right height? So you can see there, I've just changed the angle. Now that angle has been applied to the entire bridge. So what we've got is a long, smooth curve. And you can see that's quite nice. Now when you're laying your tracks as well, I like using the bridge because we've got this middle lane, which means we can get our tracks in the middle. Or if we use the deck tracks, we can do the same, and we can keep it all nicely in the middle. But something that I found out for size is the rails don't mind being on the side. So when we're going around up and down the bridge and we're coming into a corner, what we want to do is stretch out as much as possible on the corner. Let's see where it is. So right there. So I'll turn around and let's see if we can see what happens. Now you can see I've stretched out the track straight, but the game wants to curve it for you nicely. So it actually makes a nice curve automatically. So we don't need to make little sections. See how it's got a little bump in there and all that sort of stuff? It actually smooths it all out. So by making this as long as possible, and I'm making it nice and even because I've got something to aim at, which is this little outside beam. just try and stretch it out, doing nice long sections, and the end result is a really nice simple track. And you can see there I've boomed out this, fairly complex curve. We've changed our height to get past this timber deck, and we've got our track that would all be, if we keep going in this direction, let's just make it all nice, finish it off, link it up, stretch it out as long as possible using the outside edge of the timber. So in the corners, stretch it out as long as you can go, nice and long, and we turn around, there's our track. Yeah, I've seen other people talk about doing your tracks and doing all sorts of stuff, but until you actually see it when it's all stretched out, it makes a big difference on how the track looks. Like we've got a few little wavery bits here, but you saw that it's fairly quick, as long as you're doing the long stretchy bits, and that's how come most of my rail is pretty good. Transitions, so another quick tip is switches are evil. So what I mean by that, let's get a switch and park it up. Now when you're running your track near a switch, the tail that connects to the switch has to be at least the length of a car bogie in order to come out of the switch cleanly. So as long as we're stretching out nice and long, the game makes nice curves, relatively, because I didn't know where we were going. So this straight section near the switch is really important for transitions in and out of the switch zone. And for the tail of the switch, it's the same again, and they don't like hills. You can do it, it just doesn't work very good. So if you can keep everything as flat as possible, it will work really good. So I would not do a switch on a bridge like this because it's on an angle. I'll make a flat section, and the flat section has to be at least from here, so from the straight piece to the straight piece. And you can see here we've got a dip in the terrain, that's why that looks all ugly and horrible. So hope this helps somebody out there. If you're trying to have trouble with your tracks, it's a good way to get into it nice and quick, and then you can boom out track nice and fast. Tips for yards: plan your switches first. So I know I needed to be a fair way away to get the curve into the log yard, so that's how come I've worked out where my switch should be here, and then I've got the flat area for the switch in, and then laid out the tracks, and then worked out the and then laid out the earthworks, get all the angles all sorted out, and you can have nice simple track like this. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Catch you later. See you on the next one.